Hello everyone and welcome to K-Tapes. It's been a while. Once again, I know I do say that every single time, but this time it's really been a while. It's been like 4 months, I think, since my last video. So I think it's time for a new one. So without any more waiting, I'm going to show you what I have because I went to Seoul last weekend. I went to Dongmyo and I picked up a couple new releases. By that I mean there are no new released tapes, of course, but I mean I was hunting down tapes that came out after 2000, let's say 7, 8, so more or less after 2006, because as you know, tapes ended in 2006 in North America. So everything after that is kind of rare or more like unusual. So let's start here. I have, let's go with something a bit less amazing, but still cool. So right here I have Narnia. This one came out on 2 tapes. First of all, because I think this was a longer movie. I've seen it a long time ago. I really don't remember what that movie was. It says 80 minutes. I believe it's like 80 minutes per tape, but that doesn't really make sense. It would be quite long. Anyway, it's on 2 VHS. So you have like part 1, here it says like part 1, part 2. And well, the tapes are in pretty decent shape. What else? Oh yeah, with this, you see here, this means it's Korean language. So the movie is actually dubbed. And I told you before, it's really rare for Koreans to dub films. Although if the movie is like for children, more like, let's say, animation films or documentaries, for example, those will be dubbed almost like 99% of the time, maybe 90% of the time. But this one is for kids, although it's a live action film, but it has a dub version. Now you'd say, well, was there a subtitled version? Yes, there was. There are 2 versions for this one. For other movies, I don't really know. Just I saw someone selling a copy on eBay of the subtitled version, so that's why I know there are 2 versions. Which one is more rare? I don't know, honestly, because I just started hunting down those later releases, so I don't know. Usually, you know, I would go for like horror movies because that's more like what I like and what people ask me about. But yeah, I've been asked about those later releases by some people in the States recently. So that's why I'm hunting them down now. I just started. So that's the first one. The second one is related. Well, as you can see, it is the sequel, which is also on 2 tapes. Again, a movie that I haven't seen. I know it was on TV a couple of times. I never watched it. It says 145 minutes at the bottom right here. 145, which is fairly long. So I guess this one really deserves 2 tapes. And as you can see also, 2008. November, so very late 2008, so which makes it a rare tape because it was in the last 2 years they made VHSs in Korea. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Which one should I grab? Oh yeah, this one here. Here we have Speed Racer. That was by the I'm gonna scrap their names, but Wachowski brothers. Anyway, are they brothers anymore? Anyway, sisters, brothers now. The Wachowskis, let's say. And they made this back in 2008, was it? So late 2008, I think it was September. And this film is, is it rare? Again, these are not tapes I usually look for. I've seen them in the past. I always pass them because they're of no interest to me. I just look for them, like I said, for people who ask me for them. So yeah, I believe it's fairly rare. Again, anything after, I would say, 2008 is rare, and 2009 even more, and 2010, of course, because it's the last year they made tapes for American movies. those are the hardest one to find. Of course, there are oddball tapes, some that came out in 2007, 2008, that are way more hard to find than anything from 2010, let's say. To give you an example, Friday the 13th, the remake is extremely hard to find. I only found like 2 copies ever, and both copies were not in great shape, to be honest. They had like water damage and stuff. The tape would play, just the aesthetic of the overall sleeve was not in great shape. Anyway, this one is. So yeah, there you go. Speed Racer from the directors of The Matrix. Right, the next one here, jumping to 2010. This is 2010, July. Can I focus? Sorry, I'm using my phone. Can I zoom in? There you go. So we have 2010 July. This movie came out in South Korea on tape. Again, it's fairly rare, but it is another movie that I've never looked for. So maybe I've seen it in the past. Maybe it was there on the piles. I just didn't pay attention. But yeah, it's 2010. It's in great shape. Again, I always look at the fact that the spine is not sun faded. Again, this is very important when I sell tapes, because most collectors are looking for this. Which is strange because, by the way, I collect video games. I collect Xbox games, as you may know, and I do look to see if the spine is sun faded or not, because, you know, it's green, it's Xbox, and the green always goes away pretty quickly with the sun fade. It becomes like baby blue and stuff. But it seems like collectors of games don't care about that. I don't know. Maybe it's me porting my obsession with tapes to gaming. Anyway, so back to this one. Yeah, The Green Zone with Matt Damon. Great tape, beautiful copy. Again, it's mold free, of course. It's super clean. And yeah, there you go. What I like also, I never mentioned it, but some tapes that are, I would say maybe 2005 and more recent, like 2005 to 2010, they do have an hologram like this, just to tell you it's like not a copy or anything, which is kind of cool. Yeah, you have it too on Speed Racer, and I guess Narnia has it as well. Maybe not. No, Narnia doesn't have it. I mean, both Narnias. Yeah, I guess it depends on the company. This is Warner, this is Universal, but they do have this sticker. It says KYA. I'll need to check what this means. If we have any Korean viewers watching this and you know what this KVA means, K probably stands for Korea. Korea Video Association. I don't know. It's just a wild guess. Yeah. Okay. Next, what do we have? We have Robin Hood. Robin Hood. Then this is the 2010 movie with Russell Crowe. Again, it does have this holographic sticker. Okay. See, this is cool because it says. I'm so terrible with the months and the numbers. That's why I'm like thinking before I say something. So here's September, right? Ninth month. Yeah, it's September 2010, and it's pretty much in the last stretch. So that's very cool because this one is also very rare. Again, not a title I was looking for in the past. I just started checking for those later releases, but I'm just guessing it's a more rare title because it's near the end. Okay, so not that it's a more rare tape, let's say, than Green Zone, that I have no idea, but just the fact that it's more close to the end, I'm just guessing that more people would want those more than, of course, the 2006 2005 releases and so on. So yeah, there you go. Russell Crowe, Robin Hood. Beautiful tape. Again, no sun fade. Tape is gorgeous inside. No mold or anything. Well, you won't expect mold, right? Because that tape is 2010. It's barely like 10 years old. But here I have Salt. And this one I bought it online, okay? It's not something I got, in the wild. Usually I do get those tapes in the wild. If you look really close, I mean, the thing is, the sellers in the wild, like if you go to Domi or whatever, they'll sometimes gouge the price a bit and they'll ask you more, which kind of sucks, because it's kind of like, come on, those tapes, they have DVDs and things, and there's no reason for a Korean seller really to sell this for more, because they're not really aware that some foreigners may want them. And I don't think Koreans do care about these tapes, to be honest. I mean, especially not the newer films like Salt. They'll definitely go after old movies, like old kung fu films, old animations. Those are things that Korean collectors do want and that may fetch a very high price. But I mean, come on, Salt. Anyway, so that's why sometimes I don't buy some copies, because I'm like, wait, this is too expensive. Anyway, why am I saying all this is because Salt, I got it online. I didn't get it in the wild. And let me show you something. I do have the tape here, and check this. Look at the poor state of this tape. And we're talking about 2010 tape. It's not like something from the 80s or even the 90s. But I'm just blaming the storage facilities and everything, because look at this. You see the foggy kind of layer on the actual tape. See, so this is mold. And the thing, if you go to my cleaning method for VHS, I do not really tell you or teach you how to clean this. You can clean that actually. If you wipe a rag on this with like some alcohol, you can actually remove it. And if the tape is fairly new, like this one, you can completely remove it without damaging too much the playback. But the thing is, I'll do it if, let's say, this tape had this kind of mold at the beginning of the tape. But look, we're right in the middle of the movie. So that means this mold will be before and after this part. So I checked both ways, and turns out it is moldy for quite a bit. So I didn't feel like wasting time. It's because this is really time consuming to clean this, and I do not know if the playback will be good. And if I sell this, well, of course somebody buying a tape that is 2010 will expect it to play flawlessly. So I didn't want to clean it. I'm like, you know what, I'll throw it out and I'll just find another copy. However, I'll keep this box because it's unfaded. The sleeve is pretty clean. The box was all dirty. I cleaned it up. The plastic box. So this can serve as a replacement clamshell. So there you go. 2010, 11. So yeah, this was like November 2010. So again, it's even later than Robin Hood and Green Zone. But I'm confident, again, because I know someone really wanted this one. I'm just telling you guys, for those of you, you'll know yourself, that are looking for these tapes. Guys, I'm doing my best to find them, okay? Just be patient. They'll pop up at some point, okay? I have many resources and places I check, and I'm just confident it's going to pop up again, all right? I know the ones that are rare. If you would have asked me, for example, for that Friday the 13th from 2009-8, I would say, well, forget it, or don't think about it. But Salt, I'm confident it's going to pop up again. All right, I'm going to put this one away, and tape is going to trash. All right, now we have Twilight, the Twilight Saga, Eclipse. I know, it's Twilight. It is what it is, right? But it was huge at the time that it came out. And of course, we have the future Batman right here, Mr. Patterson. I forgot his first name. Something Patterson. Great actor, by the way. Very good choice for Batman. I don't know if you're gonna watch the new Batman. I am. I'm totally confident that he's gonna pull it off. And anyway, for Twilight Saga, let's check on the back right here. Let me just zoom in so that's better to see. So you see 2010-12. Again, I don't know when in December this came out because it doesn't say. Sometimes they do say it, but this one doesn't say. But we can for sure say that this was among like the very, very last American movies to come out on VHS in South Korea. And again, I'm going to say it again, with Inception being the last one. All right? So there are no North American or American films that came out after Inception. Again, unless proven right, because, you know, we never know. But I've been around when those tapes came out, and I've never seen another American film come out after that one. And I was there when those came out. I was in South Korea. I've been in South Korea since 2006. So yeah. So if you ask me how many movies came out, let's say in December of that year, in December 2010, American films, again, I don't know, because stuff like, to be honest, stuff like Twilight is not my cup of tea, so I didn't really pay attention. And also at the time, we didn't know those were going to be the last tapes, so we didn't pay as much attention to that. But anyway, it's just a handful of titles, I'm guessing, that came out December 2010. Another one would be Saw 6. From memory, I think this one is also December 2010. And maybe Predators. Is that with an S? Predators? Yeah, anyway, the Predator movie that came out around that time. I think that one as well. But that one, I've never found it. I wish I can find it sometime. Another point here is, can I zoom in a little bit more? Maybe. Oh, yes. Okay, cool. So you see these little icons right there. So this is just kind of, they have that for video games as well. So of course the lady here is kind of like there's sexuality in the movie. This is like, oh, it's scary. So there's scary parts. I guess this is related to language. And of course here it goes with the rating. You see you have an A. You can see, well, is it an A? Yeah, A, 12, 15, and 18. Yeah, so those are the ages for viewing. So it's just fun. They have that for games as well. Like if in the game there's like drug usage, violence, coarse language, and things like that, they'll have like little icons like that. It looks like childish, but it's kind of cute and it's kind of neat and a fun, trivial thing just to look at. Okay, so there you have it. Can I zoom back? Focus. All right. So this is Twilight. Eclipse. Again, tape is very clean. Was very happy. It's not sun faded or anything, although it did have like some water damage, I think, at the bottom, but nothing that is too distracting if it's sitting on a shelf in the collection. It still looks like wonderful. So that's okay. All right. Next, what I have next is just like older films. I mean, for those of you who don't care about those newer films that came out on tape, especially if it's like random stuff and you just want to get down to, you know, like what are the rare stuff, what are the older movies you found. The ones I still have, although this one is sold already, is Vampire Night, but the original title is Vampire Nights. This should be an S there. And there was a movie that came out, I think 1988, 87, I think it's 88. And it's on the beautiful Gold Star logo. Gold Star logo, again, as you know, now it's LG. So Gold Star is really cool. They always have that yellow clamshell. And the cool thing about it is they do have an engraving on the cassette as well. As you can see, Gold Star, and it's also inside the box like this. I may have showed you that before. In case I didn't, well, there you go. So to have this paired up with the tape is, I wouldn't say it's super rare, but to have the Gold Star tapes, clamshells, like such clean, like shiny, pristine condition, that is rare. And it's the same thing with the, because they made smaller boxes, Gold Star, they came in smaller clamshells, and those in good condition are also very rare to find. And most of the time nowadays, if I do find a smaller case Gold Star, it will come in a normal case, like the original small yellow clamshell was thrown away or whatever. So anyway, very happy to find this one in this condition. Got a bit of sun fade, but the general appearance of this tape is beautiful. And of course, tape is minty. And like I said, this one is already sold, so it's gonna go to a happy collector in the States. Next, I like to, well, I'll show you both of them, all right? Because I don't want this video to be like 20, 25, 30 minutes. So these are two Korean action films, and I think both of them, none of them came out on DVD, so that's why I'm going for those. And I do have like some collectors who do want those rarer releases, because unless you're in Korea, you won't find that stuff on eBay or anywhere else, so they're quite hard to find. So we have Vindicative Venom, and I did forget what's the title of this one, but it does have like some Chinese Hong Kong actors, so I think this one was a co-production, but the main actor here is Korean. So there you have it. See some wild, let me zoom in a little bit. So some wild kung fu going on. This was late 90s, 1999. Looks pretty cool. And the other one, biker action, guns. There you go. So yeah, your typical action flick, police, gangster, mafia, triad, you name it. So yeah, this one is 2000. It says at the bottom right here. By the way, those tapes may have a VCD available, but I've never found the VCD. I've never really looked for a VCD of that, but even the tapes, I've never really looked for them. But when I saw them, I'm like, oh, those late 90s Korean action films are getting quite hard to find. So whenever I see something I've never seen before, or that I kind of know it's rare, I jump on it before they're gone. And the last thing I'm going to show you, speaking of Hong Kong action, speaking of Korean action, is this one. Sadly, it does have some sun fade on the front. I found this online. I do have a tape of this, and I was collecting this simply because there's an actress in this film, which was a popular erotic actress, Korean erotic actress. She was actually quite stunning. No plastic surgery or anything. That's what I mean by that. You can probably see her right here. It's Ryu Mi-oh. I talked about her before in another film. She was in Shackle, for which there is a Korean tape and there's a Hong Kong DVD. And both of them have a different cut, by the way. I did a comparison with the two if you want to watch it in a previous video. So anyway, this is just a highlight of the film itself, but it's a triad action film. It's a bit bloody, and it's the second in the series. There are 3 films in total, and I don't know, maybe the DVD, the VCD has a different cut than the tape, although I really doubt it, because how do you call them? The censorship in Korea was pretty tight, although this is around 1998, 2000, so maybe they allowed a different cut on the VCD. I don't know. Well, I'll have to check, because I cannot really base myself on the runtime written on the back, although it says 105 minutes. Let me check here. It says 105 minutes, which is quite long. The tape is probably 90 minutes by default, but the tape, the movie on the tape might be also 105 minutes. I'll have to check that. Anyway, nonetheless, very happy, because this was something that I think was there for a while. I just never paid attention, and when I saw it online, I'm like, oh, I don't have this on VCD, so I grabbed it. Price was right, very happy. Okay, so to wrap this up, guys, let me just again put everything in front. You can see everything that was purchased recently. Again, sorry, I have other tapes, but I sold them, so I cannot really, obviously I cannot show them to you. So this was the haul of beautiful tapes that I got mostly last weekend. I would say from here up to Twilight, those I grabbed all last weekend. And the last three, those were from online sellers and from past VHS hunts. So there you have it, guys. Oh, and also, whoops, the VCD. There you go. So this was what I wanted to show you. I'm gonna follow up with another video very soon, but this time I'm gonna show you some games that I was able to get in South Korea. So some South Korean games coming up, all Xbox, because of course I do play on Xbox. So if this is your cup of tea, well, stick around and I'll have this video up very soon. And also one last thing, I'm going to a town in the countryside this Saturday, and apparently there are 2 video stores in that town. So I'm going to be filming. I'm going to bring my little gimbal camera, and I'm going to try to get some really cool footage of those 2 places, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I hope to be able to find maybe more of those late releases and maybe some other hidden gem. Who knows? All right. So have a great week, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again next time.